In this demo, a day in the life of a sales professional, contract manager, and a customer procurement officer with OpenText Content Services, you will see strong document management capabilities, team workspace and collaboration, securely sharing with external participants, co-creation of content and common authoring, task management, user-driven import and upload, automated categorization and metadata assignment, approval and sign-off workflow, lifecycle and policy management, and automation with automated sharing and applying RM automatically. We will be using Extended ECM for Salesforce, and Extended ECM for Microsoft 365, as well as our Core Share and Core Signature solutions. Watch as our sales professional creates a contract and collaborates with the contract manager and with the external customer to confirm the contract quickly and securely in this contract management use case scenario.
Let's go through the personas for this demo. First, we have Nick Wheeler. He's a sales director at Innovate. He manages a lot of the new contracts. We also have Dick Foxhoven. He works with Nick, and he's a contract manager at Innovate. Finally, we have Andy Wyatt. He's a procurement officer at Global Trade, and he will be signing the contract as we go forward. Nick will log on to Salesforce to create the new contract with Global Trade. Of course, the form has been defined for him, and he will enter specific information about the contract that is relevant and that will be automatically added and synchronized to the contract document that he will create later from Extended ECM. And you will observe that he can also pair it with the original SAP contract number. And of course, he will have a chance to enter the contract start date, the contract terms, and the status of the contract. And all of this information will be added automatically to the document without having him manually add it, which will save him a lot of time, of course, during this process. As soon as the contract is created in Salesforce, the business workspace is created in Extended ECM as well, and Nick can directly access the collection of document folders that has been created according to a template that's been defined by his administrator directly from Salesforce. Moving on from Salesforce, Nick wants to collaborate on the contract. Once he logs on to Teams, he will observe that a Microsoft team has already been automatically created and he has been added to it. From that team, he will have direct access to the business workspace and all the documents that are going to be relevant to the contract. Nick moves to create a contract document from a collection of templates available to him. He will choose the one that requires a customer signature that will be using the OT Core Signature service. Notice as well that the certain classifications, some records management classifications specific to contracts, have been applied on the document. Now he creates the contract and it's automatically added to the business workspace. Nick opens the document using Brava just to verify that all of the contract information has been entered correctly. You can see that the customer account is correct. The contract number has been added automatically from Salesforce, including the contract date, the start date, and all of the relevant information for the account name is in the proper places in the contract. Again, he did not have to do any of that. It was all done through document templating from metadata that came from Salesforce. Nick decides that he needs to make small amendments to the contract, so he edited this with Microsoft Office Online, knowing full well that his contract manager, Dick Foxhoven, can also edit it with Office Online without him having to reserve it, co-authoring the document together. You will switch now to Dick Foxhoven, who will use the full power of the Extended ECM platform to make changes to the contract. The landing page provides a wealth of information about all active business workspaces and contracts. From the Contract Update widget, he navigates to the sales contracts, finds the one in question. He navigates inside the document folder and can find the contact that is currently being edited by Nick. He edits it using Microsoft Office Online, and of course is able to join the co-authoring session with Nick without having to edit the document separately. He can also navigate back and look into a lot of the record detail information, including much of the metadata and records management information that is related to this contract. Back to Nick now, who needs to send the entire contract folder to Andy Wyatt, the procurement officer at Global Trade. But rather than zipping the entire contents of the folder and emailing it, he will share and collaborate on the contract with Andy using OpenText Core Share. He enters his email address and changes the contract state from open to active. This status change of the contract from open to active will automatically initiate the sharing of the folder, thus eliminating the need for manual sharing. Nick now can navigate to the Documents tab just to ensure that the share went properly, and the status indicator of blue indicates that all of the documents have been shared successfully. We will switch now to Andy Wyatt, the procurement officer at Global Trade. He will log on to OpenText Core Share to view the entire contents of the contract. Notice here the 01 contract folder and the business workspace it belongs to. He also needs to send some technical specifications of the pump to Nick. But again, rather than emailing them, he will create a folder named here Technical Specifications, and he will drag and drop the two pump specification documents right into that folder. Now, once the upload to Core Share is complete, these two documents will be synchronized back to extended ECM, where Nick will have access to them. Now, all of this is done without using email and while maintaining a synchronized audit log between the two systems. Nick can now view them using the integrated Rava viewer. Nick is pleased with the state of the contract, and the contract document is ready to be signed by Andy Wyatt from Global Trade. Nick initiates a sign with core signature workflow, and he gives it a unique name to remember. Before the document gets signed by Andy Wyatt, it has to be approved by his contract manager, Deek. Deek will have a final chance to approve the document before kicking off the signature process with Andy. Deek logs on to Extended ECM, and again, the landing page displays a lot of relevant information, including his workflow assignments. He expands the My Assignment widget, and he notices that a workflow step to sign the contract using core signature is pending. He enters Andy as a signer, and he quickly verifies that the contract is attached to the workflow, amongst other pertinent information. Of course, OT Core signature is an OT2 service, and Deek's credentials on OT2 will have to be verified to initiate the signing procedure. Once his OT2 credentials are verified, he can view the document and ensure all the marked areas to be signed are correct and up to date. They're automatically created anyways. And he can go ahead, scan the document, probably enter an email subject, and then proceed to actually send the document to signature. At this stage, Andy Wyatt would receive an email from Core Signature notifying him that he has a document pending his signature from Deke Foxhoven. Andy can access the document to sign directly from his email. As you can see here, he presses the review document link, and the interface in Core Signature is quite intuitive and simple to use. He does not have to log on with any OT2 credentials. He is taken to the areas that he needs to sign via an arrow, and then he proceeds to sign them by either typing his name or coming up with a signature. Also, can print a name. There's different options that can be added for signature, either name or signing. And that's it. And he just finalizes the document, and which sends a confirmation email to all signers in the flow. Back to Nick now, who is still in the Teams interface. He is satisfied with the contract, and he is told that the contract has been signed. He proceeds to turn the contract into an official record by finalizing it. That prevents it from further editing in extended ECM. And although the contract is available to Andy Wyatt in Core Share, finalizing the contract in extended ECM automatically locks the document from further editing in Core Share, thus proving that RM principles apply to content that is shared beyond the firewall. Thank you. The firewall.